What should the LA Lakers spend their money on this summer after acquiring Anthony Davis via trade? Should they go and spend and try to splurge on a coveted third star alongside LeBron and AD? Or should they use a more balanced approach and spread out that money to build a more balanced roster, a deeper roster, if you will? What is going on, y'all? Fast Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA here to talk some NBA free agency, of course, talking about the Los Angeles Lakers, who are the talk of the NBA universe at this point, and for good reason. They just got a top 5 player in Anthony Davis. I already talked about it, so you can go ahead and do that. But if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe by clicking the button down below and turning on my post notifications, and also follow me on my social media links down below and on the screen as well. With that being said, I want to get right into it. I'm talking about what the heck should the Lakers do with the salary cap, because there's been a lot of talk about whether or not they should go for a third star or whether or not they should build a deeper roster and spread out that money. People don't even know what the Lakers salary cap situation is, so I'm going to explain it to you guys in the simplest way possible and break down what the Lakers should do with their salary cap. So first, let's break down exactly how much space the Lakers will have, okay? There's a lot of reports out there that they're going to have about $32 million in salary cap space. That is correct, but only to a certain point. You got to throw in the fact that that is only possible if the Anthony Davis trade is completed at July 30th or on July 30th, I believe. And that is, of course, more than a month away, with free agency set to start, I believe, June 30th. That is really going to be difficult when free agents can obviously verbally agree to deals way before that and then sign contracts. So the Pelicans would have to essentially do the Lakers a favor by holding off the deal and complete it by July 30th. Now, if the deal gets done by about July 6th, they'll have about $27 million in cap space, but Anthony Davis has a $4 million trade kicker, and he is expected to exercise that trade kicker, bringing the Lakers salary cap space down now to a final number of about $23 million. So again, $32 million is what everyone thinks the Lakers have. Essentially and realistically, it's more so about $23 million. Now, why is that significant? Because that's a big difference. You're talking about, of course, about $9 million. And that is the difference between a max free agent and second tier free agent, okay? Because if you want to go and get a guy like a Kemba Walker, like a Kawhi Leonard, you will not be able to afford them with the $23 million in salary cap space. $32 million, yes, but now with 23. So this is the difference here. So essentially, what I'm expecting is the Lakers having $23 million in cap space, which means I don't believe they'll have a choice here, because nobody, and I'm talking about the big-time free agents like Kawhi and Kemba and Kyrie, are going to take that much of a discount to sign with the Lakers. Absolutely not. And so if that is the case, and they really don't have, that much, they don't have $32 million in cap space to be able to afford them, and certainly they can only clear up who else they have on the roster, like Isaac Bonga and Mo Wagner. And I don't even think that gets them to $32 million. That's about like $1 million each. So they have Luol Deng's, $5 million in dead cap space taking up, that hold on their salary cap. So that sucks for them, because when they stretched and waived Luol Deng, that's essentially what happened. So essentially what I'm trying to say is they won't even be in a position to be able to get a max free agent, I believe, unless that trade happens on July 30th. So working under the assumption that it doesn't, and the Lakers have $23 million in cap space, all you can do is fill out this roster with role players, okay? Or not role players, I should say. Fill out this roster in a balanced way. And that is the right approach, okay? Even if the Lakers had $32 million in cap space, other than Kemba Walker or Kyrie Irving, who addresses their biggest need at point guard, I would like the Lakers to build a balanced roster. Because you know what? With LeBron and AD, just those two, and of course Kyle Kuzma, this team's already a top contender in the West. Easily a top 3-4 team in the West and in the NBA period. So to me, you don't really need much more to put yourself over the top. Now, if they get Kawhi Leonard, it's unfair at that point. You're Golden State, So to me, I'd rather the Lakers build a balanced roster and address the other needs. So what can they do in free agency? They can look at maybe 3 guys at about 10 million per, or I should say not 3 guys at about 10 million, about 7 million, per, or guys, maybe 2 big free agents, two big free agents that are costing about maybe, 12 to 15 million, something along those lines. So to me, I'd rather get the 3 guys at about 70 million apiece. Look at a guy like a Patrick Beverley, gritty, tough, defensive-minded point guard who would potentially start for you. He can knock down the 3 ball. He would fit. JJ Redick is another guy who would be a perfect fit for the Lakers. Seth Curry, love it. He could play both positions, and he can shoot the rock, which would be fabulous. Maybe even take a run at a guy like a Malcolm Brogdon, who I know is a restricted free agent, but he would be a phenomenal fit. And then you could fill out the roster with fillers, guys on minimum salaries like a Wayne Ellington, who's a shooter, George Hill, shooter, Brook Lopez, I don't know if he would be a minimum, but he would be fantastic. Just to add that depth, Justin Holiday, Iman Shumpert. I know these guys aren't really, fantastic, but I'm just talking about fillers, okay? But when we're talking about these filling the roster with depth, I'm talking about these guys like Patrick Beverley, like Malcolm Brogdon, like JJ Redick, like Danny Green, Marcus Morris, okay? Guys like that. And the main thing here is, obviously, don't do what you did last year. Surround the team with shooter. Every guy they sign, whether it's point guard, whether it's a wing, whether it's a big, should be able to shoot, okay? Because you want to put shooters around LeBron James, and that is exactly what the Lakers did not do last year when they signed guys like Rajon Rondo, Lance Stevenson. You get the point. So again, to me, what I would do if I'm the Lakers, sign Patrick Beverley, JJ Redick, Marcus Morris, Wayne Ellington, guys like that to fill out the bench, maybe a Justin Holiday. And now I've got shooters. Now I've got guys that are 3-and-D guys. Now I've got a bit of a bench. And I've got some good defensive players as well. So to me, that's what I would do if I'm the Lakers. Use that $23 million in salary cap space to basically fill out the rest of your team, because it's barren at this point. They don't even have a starting 5. It's literally LeBron, AD, and Kuzma. So address point guard and shooting guard first, and then work with the bench depth from there. But essentially, everybody should be a 3-and-D or a shooter of some sort, to me, in terms of if I'm building this Lakers team. Let me know what you guys think. That is how I would do it. I would build this team through depth. I would build this team by spreading out the $23 million instead of putting it in 1 or 2 guys. Unless, of course, it's Kemba. But again, I don't believe they'll have the money for it. So there you have, folks. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree. As always, thanks for watching.